The billionaire's voice was barely a whisper, but it carried more weight than a room full of applause. "I wish you were mine." Daniel froze. Not because of the words, but because of who said them. Just moments earlier, he had been standing quietly in the corner of a high-end charity gala, completely out of place in his simple shirt and worn shoes. He wasn't there for the spotlight. He was there because his daughter, Mia, had convinced him that helping others matters more than anything. Daniel was a single father. Every day was a careful balance between work, bills, and bedtime stories. Luxury wasn't part of his world, love was. Across the room stood Evelyn Carter, a woman known not just for her billions, but for her influence. People admired her power, feared her decisions, envied her life. But in that moment, none of that showed on her face. Only something softer, lonelier. Daniel had helped her earlier without knowing who she was, offering her a chair, a glass of water, and a simple, genuine smile when she seemed overwhelmed. No expectations. No recognition. Just kindness. Now she stood in front of him, her voice trembling with something deeper than admiration. "I've met thousands of people," she said quietly, "but none who made me feel human again." Daniel looked at her, then down at his hands shaped by years of sacrifice. He took a breath. What he said next would change both of their lives forever. Daniel exhaled slowly, his eyes calm but steady. "You don't wish I were yours," he said gently. "You wish you had what I have." Evelyn blinked, caught off guard. No one had ever spoken to her like that. Not with honesty, especially not without fear. "And what is that?" she asked, her voice quieter now. Daniel smiled faintly. "Someone who waits for me at home, not for my money, not for my name, just for me." For a moment, the noise of the gala faded into silence. Evelyn looked around at the glittering room, crystal chandeliers, expensive suits, rehearsed laughter. It suddenly felt hollow. "I have everything," she whispered, almost to herself. "Yet it never feels like enough." Daniel nodded. "Because everything isn't the same as someone." His words didn't sting, they settled. Deep. Unavoidable. Evelyn hesitated, then asked something unexpected. "What's her name?" "Mia," Daniel replied, a warmth instantly softening his face. "She's 8. Thinks pancakes can fix any bad day." Evelyn let out a small laugh, genuine this time. "She sounds wonderful." "She is," Daniel said proudly. "She reminds me every day what matters." There was a pause. A different kind this time, not awkward but reflective. Then Evelyn made a decision she hadn't planned. "Would it be strange," she asked carefully, "if I met her?" Daniel studied her, not the billionaire, not the powerful figure everyone knew, but the woman standing in front of him, searching for something real. He nodded slowly. "Only if you come as yourself." For the first time that night, Evelyn didn't feel like the richest woman in the room. She felt like someone about to experience something priceless. The next evening, Evelyn stood outside Daniel's modest home, her heart racing in a way no business deal ever had. No cameras. No assistants. No luxury car waiting. Just silence and uncertainty. She knocked. The door swung open, and before she could say a word, a small voice burst out. "Hi! Are you Daddy's friend?" Evelyn blinked, surprised by the sudden energy. Mia stood there in mismatched pajamas, her hair slightly messy, her smile completely unfiltered. I hope so," Evelyn replied, unsure but smiling back. Daniel appeared behind her. "Mia, this is Evelyn." Mia tilted her head. "You look sad, but nice." Evelyn froze. No one had ever read her so quickly, so honestly. Before she could respond, Mia grabbed her hand. "Come inside. We're making pancakes. Daddy says they fix everything." Inside the small kitchen, there was laughter. Real laughter. Flour spilled on the counter, syrup dripping, and a sense of warmth Evelyn couldn't remember feeling. For the first time in years, she wasn't thinking about meetings, numbers, or expectations. She was simply present. Do you have kids? Mia asked suddenly. Evelyn hesitated. No. Why not? Daniel quickly stepped in. Mia. It's okay, Evelyn said softly. She looked at Mia, then admitted something she'd never said out loud. I guess I was too busy building a life, and forgot to live one. Mia frowned, thinking hard, then smiled. You can borrow mine for today. Evelyn laughed, but her eyes filled with tears. In that tiny kitchen, surrounded by simple joy, something inside her began to change. And she knew she would never be the same again. Weeks passed, but Evelyn kept coming back. What started as a single visit turned into something she couldn't stay away from. Not because she needed them, but because, for the first time, she wanted something that couldn't be bought. She sat on their warm couch, helped Mia with homework, and even burned pancakes once, something Mia found hilarious. You're getting better, Daniel teased one evening. At pancakes or life? Evelyn asked with a small smile. Both, he replied. But not everyone was pleased with the change. At work, her advisors noticed. You're distracted, one of them said. Deals are waiting. Investors are asking questions. For years, Evelyn would have corrected herself instantly. Work came first. Always. But now, something felt different. That night she sat alone in her penthouse, staring at the city lights. Everything she had built stood before her: power, wealth, influence. And yet, the only place she wanted to be was a small house with laughter and pancake stains. The next day, she made a decision that shocked everyone. She stepped back from several major deals. She redirected millions into community programs, schools, childcare centers, support for single parents. When asked why, she simply said, because success means nothing if it doesn't change lives. Later that evening, she showed up at Daniel's door again. You're late, Mia said dramatically. I know, Evelyn replied, kneeling slightly. I had something important to fix. Did pancakes help? Mia asked. Evelyn smiled. No, but you did. Daniel watched quietly, realizing something powerful. Evelyn didn't just find happiness. She was becoming the reason others could find it too. One quiet evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the three of them sat together on the small porch. Mia leaned against Daniel, half asleep, while Evelyn watched the skies shift into shades of gold and blue. I used to think I had everything, Evelyn said softly. Daniel glanced at her. And now? She smiled, not the polished smile the world knew, but something real. Now I know I had nothing that truly mattered. There was a long, peaceful silence. Then Evelyn turned to him, her voice steady this time. That night, when I said I wished you were mine. Daniel nodded, listening. I was wrong, she continued. I didn't need you to belong to me. I needed to learn how to belong somewhere. Daniel looked at Mia, then back at Evelyn. You already do, he said quietly. Mia stirred, opening her eyes slightly. Of course she does, she's family. Evelyn's breath caught. Family? Mia smiled sleepily. Yeah, you just didn't know it yet. Tears filled Evelyn's eyes, not from sadness, but from something she had searched for her entire life. Belonging. Not bought. Not earned. Just given. Daniel placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. Sometimes, the life we need isn't the one we build, it's the one we're brave enough to accept. Evelyn looked around, the simple home, the quiet street, the people who saw her not as a billionaire, but as herself. And in that moment, she understood everything. Kindness had changed her. Love had grounded her. And a single father's reply had given her a life worth living.